I'm Chanel Tewalt. I'm the director of the Idaho Department of Agriculture. I've been in the director role about 2 years. Prior to that, though, I was with the department for many years, and I learned from many talented staff members, got to wear a lot of hats. But it's funny that I ever made it into government in many ways, because I grew up in an area in the Klamath Basin that was not very government friendly. Government was something, particularly the federal government, that caused pain in people's lives. And that is very foundational to the way that I approach my role, and to always understand that we have to be serving agriculture, and if we're not serving, what are we doing? Well, I grew up in production ag, specifically in a livestock operation. That's actually how I met my husband. We met at a livestock show, and we have tried, even though we have now jobs in town, we have tried as much as possible to hold on to our roots, and it's very important to us that we're raising our kids in agriculture. And so we continue to have a seed stock sheep operation and show lambs, and which is great. Our kids are starting to show. We sell lambs across the country as much as we can, and it's been such a beautiful thing in our lives to have our kids maintain the thing that was most important to us growing up. The thing, it's the reason that we met, and we very much want our family to hold on to that. Agriculture is just more diverse than anyone can imagine if you're not from this industry. And this job is no different. And I think the way that it is important for me to do this job is to be hands-on. There is no job that I want our folks to do that I wouldn't be willing to do myself. But that means that it's very diverse. I mean, there are times where we're on a trade mission staying in some beautiful location, having very high-level meetings, and then the next day you are camped on an island in the Snake River. And so it is a very diverse job, but that is hopefully a way that that's how we know we're doing it right, is because we're out meeting folks where they are. So it doesn't matter how good your plan is, or how good you think it is, or the things that you want to accomplish, or how fast you think you can move. If you don't have hardworking, talented, truly gritty people willing to see it through, because we have a culture here of people who truly care about natural resources and preserving water and preserving Idahoans' ability to use it, we have a culture of people who want to work hard. They're okay putting in 15-hour days if it means advancing a good cause. And those are the folks that we have, and they're really talented. Having had obviously a very busy 18 months with quagga and the session and high path, a novel disease that's never been seen in dairy cattle anywhere in the world until it hit the US, and then to go through a second round of treatment on the Snake River, those are significant events. And what I think we have to keep in mind as an agency, something that's really important to me, is we have a lot of other strategic efforts that we're trying to get across the finish line right now. It comes to adding more services for ag, more services for the dairy industry. We're going through a remodel of our organics program. We're going through a remodel of our pesticide program. It's really important to us to not lose sight of all the other projects that we have to get done, and we are trying to remodel certain aspects of the agency so we can really provide the type of service that we expect and want to provide to ag. There are any number of talented people who could sit in this position and be great at it. And I just am fortunate enough to be this person at this time. But it is something that I always remember why I'm here. Ag has been foundational in every aspect of my life. How I grew up, where I met my husband, how I'm raising my kids, how my family makes a living, and all of those components. But ultimately, I try to remember, if we're talking about regulating or implementing a program here at the agency or going on a trade mission, all of the work that we do here is about families. And if we don't do all of this day-to-day work in a way that respects the folks who are putting their lives literally on the line to maintain communities and to maintain their families and all of these things, then we're doing folks a disservice. And so this work does have a deeper meaning for me.
Please welcome Director Tewalt up to the stage, and while she's coming up, President Searle has a couple of...
That's what she deserves. She deserves a standing ovation. She truly does. I just want to thank you and recognize you. This is a woman who is one of us. She understands, as explained on the video, agriculture. She has boots on the ground. When it come to quagga mussel, she said she was on the island. It wasn't the Caribbean. It was all for you, all for agriculture. I don't know that in my lifetime I've ever seen a person that is committed to that. Phenomenal. Just amazing. And that's the director who is very deserving of this 600-pound award. And it takes Russ and I to hold it. But, Director, do you want to share a few words with us?
So I am blown away. This relationship with the Farm Bureau predates me being director and is one of the most important things that I have in my job. The role that you have at the Farm Bureau comes directly through these folks, and you have the conduit always into our office. But the work of this organization has never, ever been more important than it is right now, with Idaho changing as much as it's changing. I just want to tell you thank you so much. I'm incredibly honored.